Hey, it is Dave from Gravity Wiz. I have styled my hair and I brushed my beard, which can only mean it is time for another Gravity Wiz crash course. Today, we're going to look at connecting Google Calendar to Gravity Forms bookings using Gravity Connect Gravity Connect Google Calendar. You're going to love this. Let's jump in. So we're starting with the GP bookings dashboard. From here, we're going to go to our barbers and just kind of take a quick step back. I already have this set up with some of our sample data. So we're doing a barber shop that provides haircuts, and then our resources are barbers here. So I'm going to go here to John, and I'm going to name this fellow Albus instead, just for funsies. And we're going to go to Calendar Sync here, and this is where we're going to link up Albus's personal calendar with his resource in GP bookings. So what this is going to let us do is if he has any existing resources, or events, bookings that are on that calendar, we can import them into GP bookings to block availability. Now it's worth noting this won't actually create bookings in GP bookings, but it will prevent new bookings from taking up those time slots. The other thing is that when new bookings are made through GP bookings for Albus, they will get sent directly to his calendar. Now, another thing to note is that this works for both resources and services, but I'm just demoing the resource use case right now. So we're on the Calendar Sync tab. We're going to click Add Calendar, and it launches the Add Calendar modal. Now, if you don't have Google Calendar installed already, no problem. You can do a one-click install and activate right here. This does assume that you already have access to Google Calendar with your license level. If you don't, you'll just see a message there to upgrade your account. So I have already used this before. I've already connected my david@gravitywiz.com Google account. So that means that it's showing up right now. But if I hadn't, then I would just click Add New Account, and it would take us to the Google Calendar settings page where I could authenticate a new account. In this case, we're going to use David@GravityWiz since it's already hooked up, and I'm going to jump down and select our sandbox calendar. Just imagine that this is Albus's calendar. Now it's time to look at the sync mode here. There are two options, well, three options: send bookings to calendar, block availability from calendar, or send bookings and block availability. We're going to do this one, but let me explain those individually. So first, send bookings to calendar. Again, that means that when you make a booking with your Gravity Forms booking form powered by GP bookings, it will send that booking as an event to the connected calendar. On the opposite side, block availability, it will take events that are already in your calendar, or when you add new events to that calendar, perhaps manually, perhaps through another booking service, it will then import those into GP bookings to block the availability to prevent new bookings from being booked for those time slots. So again, we're going to leave those selected, and I'm going to go to Preview Events. So interesting, we already have a few events here. You can see these two were events that are on the calendar, and they were either manually added or added by another service. But this one is one that was actually added from a previous test with GP bookings. So this is useful so you can see that it won't re-import events that it created, which is useful so you don't get duplication. So now we've looked at this, this looks great. We're going to go ahead and connect the calendar. It's going to do its little magic here. Now, depending the first sync, it will send that off as a scheduled action. It usually doesn't take too long, but for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to go ahead and sync now, just that we know that everything's fully locked in. It's fully synced, and now you can view the history of that syncing, which it will kind of keep stacking as it syncs over time. But the other cool thing here is that you can go and you can actually edit this. So in the future, if you decide that you don't want to send and block, and you want to only send bookings or block availability, you could do that here. And the other really cool thing is that you can remove the connection. And when it removes the connection, not only does it remove the connection itself, it also removes any imported availability blocks and any events that it has sent to the calendar. So this will give you a fully clean slate, as if you never made this connection in the first place. Obviously, we're not going to do that for the demo, because then we have to do that. We have to reset everything all over again. So I'm going to go ahead and click Update, and we are going to jump over to our haircut booking form. So this is pretty standard booking form here. We have our booking field, which powers our service, our resource, aka barbers, and then our booking time field. Let's jump over to live preview so we can actually use this form. And I'm just going to submit a quick test booking. Albus is already selected as our barber here, and I'm going to go to the 30th and I'm gonna select the first slot of the day. I wanna knock out my haircut first thing, and I submit. Now, I really should have styled this page to really make this shine, so forgive me. Just trust me, you have full flexibility to make this as beautiful as you want. Now, let's go to the calendar, and you can see that our 9 a.m. with Dave Smith has been booked. The other really cool thing is that we can go to entries now to see the entry that's associated with that booking, and we can make edits here. So if the user was to go and reschedule this, or the admin, which I'm acting as the administrator right now, the admin may say like, oh, he made a typo in his name. This is actually David Smith. And let's put him at the 10:30 slot. Maybe Dave Smith called in and wanted to make a couple changes. We can go in and update that. And if we go back to the entry now, you can see that our event has been updated to 10:30 and the event title has updated to reflect those changes. Jumping back to the entry detail view, the other thing just worth noting is that you can move this entry to trash and delete it, and it will automatically delete that event from the calendar as well. Okay, I think that's all you need to know about Gravity Connect Google Calendar and how it works with GP bookings. But of course, we have a lot more details in the documentation, and if you have any questions, our legendary support team is at the ready. Can't wait to see what you do with this in the wild. Thanks so much. Bye.